I'm Rockville 11's Jennifer Linksay.
And I'm Rocio Snowdy.
It's no secret that Rockville is home to some of the most outstanding residents around. Since 2012, the Rock 11 Now team has tried to bring citizens with amazing talents, unique stories, and a desire to do great work in the community into the homes of our viewers through our colorful Meet Your Neighbor episodes.
Now we have compiled the very best of a Meet Your Neighbor segment so you can get a taste for the outstanding community members that live in the city. To start us off, we'll be introducing you to our very youngest neighbors. These kids are proof that the city of Rockville's future is in great hands.
On a normal practice, I would go and take out the mouthpiece and I would buzz in it, and then I would go up and down the scales. And then I would do something called sing, buzz, play, which is where I would sing the notes so that I would know them. Then I would buzz the notes so that I had a feel for them, and then I would play them on the trumpet.
That's the routine of trumpeter Avi Chittum, an accomplished instrumentalist for a musician his age.
I'm 11 years old. I'm moving into 6th grade at a school called MGBHA, Melvin J. Berman Hebrew Academy. I have an older sister and 2 younger brothers. I've played jazz, classical, rock.
Having mastered scales in a number of songs, Avi's trumpeting career began with a shofar, an instrument made out of a ram or goat's horn traditionally used for Rosh Hashanah.
When I was in 3rd grade, my parents bought me a trumpet since I was really good at playing the shofar when I was like 2 or 3. And then I had my first couple of lessons at the LLM music shop, and I learned the scales, and then they tested me to see what I have learned, and then I got a Star Wars book and I learned the national anthem, and it was really fun.
And it was Avi's skillful playing of taps that earned him a spot in buglers across America as one of the youngest of a primarily adult group to be able to play at ceremonies. Buglers Across America is a group that plays for funerals and memorials for the men and women that have served the country.
I was excited and I felt really honored, and I learned about it because my tutor Joe, he told me about it because he's in it, and so we were practicing for my Boy Scouts, and we were practicing the bugle calls, and he was like, I think that you do really good inside Buglers Across America.
Avi also picks up his instrument to play for the Rockville Regional Youth Orchestra.
It's a fun environment for kids to practice and learn new songs and practice their songs, and then they get to audition, and when you're inside an orchestra, they get to feel for it.
When he isn't performing, Avi continues to broaden his music skills, and this past summer he attended a music camp at the University of Maryland.
I did a composition class and a jazz class where we would practice that kind of stuff. So I made one track with a kid who also did composition, and so I have it on a CD.
And with his musical repertoire constantly growing, what is Avi's favorite piece to play?
I haven't even finished it yet, but it was the Star Wars theme song. I like it because I own all the movies and I've seen them a lot, and I know what it should sound like, so I have it pretty much memorized.
When he's not playing his instrument, Avi is an active Boy Scout and swimmer for the Potomac Woods Swim Team and the Finn Swim Club during the winter, activities that Avi has an interest in continuing for his future.
I kind of want to be in the Coast Guard, and so do my parents, because I'm fast and I'm good at swimming.
And while the future holds many opportunities for 11-year-old Avi, he still plans to make time for his music.
I think I might be a music teacher during the school years, and I might have a lot of fun with that. Music is a way of expressing yourself and helping each other learn new things in it, and it's a way of like exposing yourself instead of just being shy and like that kid that stands out.
Today we meet with Ms. Kiana Waters, winner of the Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. Youth Award. Through her actions, Ms. Waters shows us how she's been able to keep Dr. King's dream alive through all these years.
My mother came home and she told me she had a surprise for me. She told me the city of Rockville called her at her job that day, and she started freaking out, like, is my baby okay? I was like, okay, Mom, get on with it. And she said, well, you won the MLK Youth Award. And I was like, me? It really came as a surprise, but I was really excited about it and I was eager to find out more.
Kiana was selected for the award after she went on a community service trip through her International Baccalaureate program as part of the InterCast conference. Here, she joined 200 kids representing 11 countries from North and South America.
I really wanted to get to speak to other Spanish speakers and be in an environment where I'm forced to speak Spanish and where I can absorb some of the culture there. I really like to travel, but I don't like to travel as a tourist. I like to travel as someone who's actually part of that place.
While her love of the Spanish language gave her the motivation to apply for the program, it was through her community service experience in Guayaquil, Ecuador, that provided her with more of an in-depth perspective on giving back.
It's called La Isla Santay. It's right in the center of Guayaquil, and what's interesting about it is even though it's so close to the city, it's very isolated. There weren't many people that lived there. But the problem was that there was a lot of pollution, I guess, from the city that had washed up on the shore, like plastic bottles. So what I did in my group there was we were taking bags and we went to the shore, just one spot, and we were separating things that had floated up on the shore into different bags. There were a lot of bags to fill, but we would just separate them into glass or plastic or any like miscellaneous items.
The next day, the group went hiking the 14 kilometers around the village, creating nature trails by making signs and labels for trees and plants that provided medicinal benefits or were unique. Following the hike, Kiana helped develop a census for the tiny village of Dos Mangas and create crafts to help the village economy.
It was interesting to see a place where their village economy basically was about the crafts, and where the students that were there didn't have a school set up like the school that we have here. So I really enjoyed the part where we could help support them by making crafts with them. They taught us how to make crafts. We got to make a really interesting necklace where we were carving like our names and stuff like that into like, I think there were seeds from there that had been painted and made really nice. So we could take those home with us and remember where we went and what we contributed to the place. And also we were painting the school to make it look nice and new. I think we painted it blue and painted our InterCast emblem on it. And I thought it was a really good representation because on the InterCast emblem it says, Somos uno, lo ves? We are one, can you see it? And it has a bunch of different people holding hands. And that's what I really felt when I went down there. Especially when we were together painting, because it was, I think for part of the time, it was actually raining outside. And so we were out there getting messy and painting the walls and doing whatever they asked us to do. But it was a really nice team effort that I wish I could experience more.
Kiana's journey has increased her awareness of the environment she lives in a lot more. Her trip experience has strengthened her commitment to helping and encourages her friends to become more involved in one form or another.
There's plenty to do. And I actually have invited some of my friends to go on a mission trip this year if we go back, and because it's a new experience. You have to get out there and discover what there is for you to give back. Because a theme with Martin Luther King Jr. And the day that we celebrate him is that, as my mother tells me, it's always a day on, not a day off. You have to give back to the community.
Next, we'd like to feature some of Rockville's most active neighbors. From a community member with a passion for skateboarding and keeping our youth safe, to one of the country's top speed skaters, these residents are making a difference in the community through their love of sports. Meet Michael Brookins, who you may be able to spot at the City Skate Park, which is located behind the Rockville Swim and Fitness Center and opened back in 2001.
I'm a soon-to-be husband, I'm a father, I'm a photographer, small business owner, and of course the head of the SOS Save Our Skate Park Committee.
Brookins spearheaded the SOS Committee, which is a group of skateboarders committed to doing a complete 180 on the park to maintain its cleanliness and safety.
It's about reestablishing Rockville Skate Park as a family-friendly and positive environment. We want to really bring the kids back. We want them to skate more than just in the summer camp. And it seems like any time outside of that, they're not really here as much as they were when it first opened. I guess people just walking by and kind of seeing the condition the park was in, they would see some trash, they would see some loitering. And I guess that kind of added to that negativity. To add to that, we're a group of skateboarders that are just really concerned about our park. We don't want to lose it due to a couple of bad apples in the bunch.
And according to Brookins, the SOS Committee has been making progress.
We've been making quite a few changes. We've had quite a positive impact on the park and the community. So far, we've cut down on a lot of the waste simply from adding more trash receptacles. We cut down on the loitering simply from getting rid of the benches. And we come out here on a weekly basis and we inspect the park. We have this very long checklist that we do just to make sure that everything is up to standard and no one's out here and they could potentially be hurt.
But when Brookins isn't on his board or improving the Rockville Skate Park, he's helping out other local skateboarders with his own business.
I run a company called Skate Forever, SK84EVR. That's what the 8 and the 4 is for. And what we are is we're the first skateboard subscription service. So what our company provides is a new skateboard to a skateboarder every other month for a low price, which is $20 a month. And through a lot of research and a lot of surveys that we've been doing through this park and others, we've learned that skateboarders need a new skateboard on average at least every 2 months. And we're really trying to cater to the people that break their boards and they need something new constantly.
Brookins encourages local skaters to come out to some of the upcoming events at Rockville Skate Park.
We have our National Go Skate Day event. So what we'll be organizing is a skateboard competition. And it's going to be local and it's going to be for people in Montgomery County that can't make it all the way out to DC to participate in the DC Go Skate Day event. So it's going to be our little piece of that. We also have a community cleanup coming, and that's going to mainly involve, the core members of the SOS committee. There are going to be some carpenters, there are going to be some painters, there are going to be some artists that will be redoing the murals, and we're pretty much going to turn this park around by the time the National Go Skate Day event happens.
The SOS Committee also aims to keep the park environmentally friendly with green initiatives including recycling, a skateboard exchange program for when skaters get rid of a board that is still usable, and being energy efficient with the park's lights.
If you haven't brought your kids out here, definitely bring your kids out here. Let them get a chance to experience skateboarding. Even if it's only for a day, you might be starting a lifelong passion or a lifelong career for your kids. I definitely will be taking my son out here. He's 18 months at the time, but I'd say in about another year and a half, he will definitely be out here. Because like I said, I really want to fill this park up with kids again, and I really want to get back to the mission statement of the Rockville Skate Park, and that's to offer a safe environment for kids to challenge themselves and to just do something recreational, just something to keep them out of the streets. And that's one of the things that I really love about the Rockville Skate Park. I would much rather see our youth in this park every single day meeting their goals, which could be from a simple ollie to just being able to stand on the skateboard.
Novice and advanced skaters alike are recommended to wear protective gear while skating. Rockville Skate Park is free to use, open from 9 a.m. to 10 p.m.
It just feels good to get out here and learn something new, and to be able to just get that trick that you've been working on. It builds a lot of confidence, in the skate park and outside of it.
For more information on Rockville Skate Park, visit rockvillemd.gov/skatepark.
I'm Rockville 11's Chris Piper. For this edition of Meet Your Neighbor, we'd like to introduce you to April Shin, the local speed skater who is on the inside track to becoming one of the best in the country. 2013 World Junior Short Track Speed Skating Championships were held in Warsaw, Poland this past February. Of the more than 150 skaters participating in the competition, 8 represented the United States, and one of the Americans was April Shin, a 15-year-old who attends Richard Montgomery High School.
It was such a good experience because when I skated around here in the US, I thought it was really big, but when I went to international competition for the first time, I never noticed how many other skaters there were. If you just watch it on the Olympics, it's different, but when you go there and if you experience by yourself, it feels like an honor to be there.
April qualified for the World Championships after winning the silver medal at the Junior National Competition, which attracted 61 skaters from across the country. Representing her country as well as her city is something that carries meaning to Shin.
In a way, it kind of feels like a responsibility, but I try to make it not to pressure me as much. And I'm just happy that I was good enough to be able to represent USA and the city of Rockville.
Before she could stand on the podium, April had to first learn to stand on her skates. She was first introduced to the sport at a community skate night.
When I was 9, I went to a school skate night and I had no idea what speed skating was. And then my neighbor, who's also Korean, he was speed skating, his mom was talking with my mom and he told us that an Olympic skater from Korea is coming to coach us. So she said to just try it out, and I just started skating and I kept going from then.
And you were just a natural at it?
Well, I wasn't at first. I fell a lot, and then I got better by every day.
The Olympian turned coach April would go on to skate under was Dong Sung Kim, an Olympic gold medalist and former world champion from South Korea.
My first coach, as I told you, he was an Olympian before. Well, he was kind of a strict coach and everyone was really scared of him. So every time he told me good job, it made me so happy and it made me want to skate more. And he moved away to Korea recently. And I told him that I made the junior team and he told me I did good. And he said, your next goal is the Olympics, so keep skating hard and all that. And it just made me so happy to know that he still is there.
Before she takes her position against the other skaters, April often finds herself battling her most familiar of opponents, her nerves.
Right before the races, I'm extremely nervous. But then when I get on the ice, it just becomes so serious. And when people are cheering, I can't hear anything but my coach in the side. So I feel it just mutes out the whole world.
In a sport so intense that it has been referred to as NASCAR on ice, the difference between finishing first and finishing last can be a fraction of a second. Something Shin says is less about physical attributes and more about mental grit.
I'm not as certain. I guess you have all of them. But I guess it's your mind, because when you think there's a problem, you keep thinking about it and you think you can't do it. So I know people who are oh, my legs are sore, so I can't skate that well today, and they do bad. And there's some people who are my blade's messed up, and they just mess up. But if you can win those challenges, I guess, that's what makes you a greater skater. Mental strength.
And you would say you have a lot of that?
I'm working on it.
For now, her ability has landed her in the top 15 of speed skaters in the country, but April has her sights set on the future.
Well, since I got third at this nationals, my ranking went up, so it's possible that in April of next year, I think, I'm going to be going to Olympic trials for 2014 Olympics. So I'm training for that right now, but I'm not sure yet.
While Aprilson has enjoyed a multitude of individual successes, she knows she would not be where she is today without the support of the Dominion Speed Skating Club.
Like, my club, it's not just a club with friends and stuff. Like, it feels like a family, and I don't feel like I'm missing out in social life when I go to practices and stuff, because I get to meet all of my friends and people will feel like my family all the time. You always come, they have those moments, but if you just get past that little struggle, it gets a lot better. You just have to fight through that struggle.
As we have seen so far, there are many ways in which a resident can have an impact on the city. These next neighbors do so successfully with their hobbies, businesses, and organizations.
All the work I've done has been right here in the Senior Center's woodshop.
His style of work is multifaceted. He usually makes hollow form vessels, but also makes conventional sculptures all out of wood.
I specialize in something called turning, which means using a lathe, machine on which you mount a piece of wood, spin it at high speed, and using special chisels. I contour the wood, I hollow the inside, I shape the outside, and make whatever kind of hollow form vessel I want to make.
In 1998, Mr. Stein was awarded the first Path of Achievement Award in the Arts and Humanities, which designated him a living treasure in the state of Maryland.
It's a passion for me. It gives me an outlet and an outlet for my creative desires, from making things that look like they're impossible to make.
His love for woodworking and volunteering is another reason he is one of the city's good neighbors.
I don't sell anything. I have a core collection which gets me into museums, but a lot of the things that I've made, I give away to organizations of my choice. I have given many things to the Senior Center. It's a wonderful place. I show my appreciation by giving back. It's really important for me. It was something instilled in me by my dad, that you're part of a large group. People need people. They shouldn't be loners. By giving back, the rewards are so great. It's hard to describe. Seniors have so much knowledge and so much skill. Why take them with them when they leave the big party here? Why not share some of that with others?
If you know someone who is a special neighbor and would like to highlight their story, or if you would like more information about our Good Neighbor Award program, log on to rockvillemd.gov. For Rockville 11, I'm Rosie Osnodi. Today we're meeting a young entrepreneur whose philosophy for life extends way beyond retail and fashion.
When I was a little girl, I wanted to be a performer. I wanted to sing, but unfortunately, that's not the gift I was given. So, you know, I was always really artistic. I wanted to do something always in the arts. And then in high school, I really got interested in fashion and clothes and wanting to make my own clothes. I'm very much inspired by, you know, other eras. Everybody is always telling me that I have an old soul. So I think that you really can see that in the designs.
After high school, Sylvia continued her education at Marymount University, where she studied fashion. But for this young entrepreneur, fashion was not the only reason she loved the idea of owning her business.
Well, I guess for me, one of the biggest reasons why I wanted to do fashion and do something in the garment industry was the labor aspect. And what I really wanted to do was manufacture. My family set up a workshop in El Salvador where we could design and where we can manufacture the clothes I would design. So for me, I really wanted to be on top of, you know, the labor, and I wanted to know who was making the clothes, and I wanted to be able to give the customer peace of mind that the clothing wasn't coming from somewhere where there was labor exploitation or where there were children working at factories. Like, I could give them that peace of mind. I know exactly who makes the clothes, and you know, I go back to El Salvador 2 or 3 times a year to oversee production, And I never wanted to just ship it off somewhere and not know who was making the clothing. That's why on the tag it says made by hardworking hands in El Salvador. And I'm proud that it comes from my country.
Sylvia's source of inspiration stems from her parents, who are not only owners of their own businesses, but also give back to their community through charities, sponsoring events, and are always open to sharing their success with others.
If there was anything I was going to do in school, I was going to do something I loved, but I wanted to do something that was going to help other people. And with the shop, I think it gives us an opportunity to be able to educate the consumer about things like labor exploitation. And now we're having a coat drive this season. As an incentive, the customer gets a discount when they donate. So just different things that we try to tie, into, philanthropy or charity, things like that. And we've done a lot of charity fashion shows. We've been part of a lot of charity fashion shows too. Just to be able to, I think people are interested in fashion. They think it's fun. They think it's interesting. So if you, bring them in that way, and then you tell them, hey, by the way, there's so many good things, so many good causes you could be a part of now that you're here. So I think that's one of the things that we tried to do also last year with the Heart to Heart, to be able to be part of something where, it's fun, we're having a fashion show, but we're also educating people on, like heart conditions, things like that. I think at the end of the day, like my mom says, you don't take anything with you. And so if there's anything, that you can share with people while you're here, why not?
On top of contributing to local Asian language newspapers, Rockville resident Teresa Harn gives back to the community with her passion in the arts.
Through dance, singing, you are happy, and people also enjoy your show. They are happy to promote the spirit of the whole community.
An active member of the Rockville Senior Center and the Cultural Arts Commission, Harn offers traditional Chinese choreography and vocal performances for various programs.
We also attend the fairs like hometown holidays to make people realize, aware there's the Asian American communities that we contribute a lot, and we also need their attention.
One of the city's major events from Rockville's Asian American communities is the annual Lunar New Year celebration. Harn began the Yellow Plum Folk Drama Club, who will perform at this year's event.
I want to introduce, besides the dance, through fans, through ribbon, through sword. We also, like a Kung Fu, we also have another kind of culture form. It's opera, but it's a folk opera. It's not American opera, the soprano, but it's more like a comedy type. So I hope they can enjoy that too.
Rockville also celebrated this year's Lunar New Year at Glenview Mansion's monthly art exhibit and Sunday afternoon concert.
All the fan dance, ribbon dance, mask dance, Tibet dance, India dance, dance of Northwest. So we have different kinds of dance to entertain the people.
And it was because of Rockville's wide range of Asian-related activities that brought Harn to live in this city.
I kind of miss my home culture, my homeland. So I noticed here you have big community, Chinese community, and the newspapers, probably 5 of them in Rockville City and actually in Hungerford Drive. So I said, I want to come here so I can enjoy the culture, arts, and miss my pastry, the restaurant, the many Chinese restaurants here.
Harn also gives back to the community through Rockville's Asian Pacific American Task Force, a group committed to helping Rockville become more aware of the needs of the Asian American community. Harn provides translation services to Chinese residents who need assistance.
To be able to help them understand English through my interpretation, translation, so I feel very much useful to help the community. Once I helped a couple, they have a problem with the landlord. So I come in as a mediator, to solve the problem.
Through her many skills and talents, Harn is one of Rockville's residents that's all about giving back.
My goal of life is to help other people. So dedicate my life to the service to other people. Because by helping other people, you are happy and your life is worth living.
For more of Rockville's Meet Your Neighbor segments, visit the city's YouTube channel at youtube.com/City of Rockville.
To end this roundup of the best of Meet Your Neighbors, we're bringing you a video that has received over 3 times as many views as any other Meet Your Neighbor segment we've produced. An overwhelming fan favorite, Allison Plotas is a resident with a great foundation and an inspiring story.
Meet Allison Plotas, a Falls Grove resident, an active gardener, a wife and mother, and the president and co-founder of the Be Great Foundation, a public charity based in Rockville dedicated to her son, Alexander.
My son had an immune deficiency, a severe immune deficiency, and thankfully there is a cure for immune deficiencies through a bone marrow transplant. And after his successful bone marrow transplant, he had respiratory complications and essentially had pneumonia 2 times over a 2-week period. And being a young 13-month-old kid, 15 pounds, it was too much for his body to sustain, and he passed away. When you're on the unknowns, you have to be confident and you have to be an advocate for your child. And that's what we did. My husband and I looked at each other and we said, okay, if he's got something, let's figure out what it is. He couldn't ask for better parents because we're going to turn everything over that we can and get him the best medical care. At the same time, it can't just be all about him. It is for his time, but we have a family to run. We have another daughter that we need to make sure is doing well and that she can go to school and not carry the burdens that adults have. And people will surprise you that can help. And it's not just food, but it's who can come and help you with laundry or mowing your grass. My daughter was able to still be a big sister by calling him every day on the phone, sending him pictures. Then we also as a family made sure we did have happy moments and took pictures along the way because the 6 months we were in the hospital shouldn't be erased. It was a part of our life story. And we needed to make sure that she had happy moments so that regardless of whatever path this took, she can look back when she's older and know, hey, this is good. Things were okay. It was bumpy, but we still laughed and smiled and we're a fun family.
The Be Great Foundation honors Alexander's legacy through its focus on 4 programs.
The first one that Be Great focuses on is the Center for Diagnostic Immunology and Transplantation. Through the CDINT, we are raising money to expand the diagnostic capabilities at Children's National Medical Center. The second area that we focused on is cord blood donation. Alexander's bone marrow transplant, thankfully, which was successful, was due to a donor. The third area that we focus on is the BMT family orientation. There's a reason we lived in the hospital for 6 months. There's things that you learn when you're there, and we wanted to pass on those lessons of living in a teaching hospital, living in isolation. How do you juggle life inside and outside? The fourth area is our fast-tracking newly diagnosed children. So in the years to come, in 2014 in Virginia and soon in Maryland and DC, they're going to be expanding the newborn screening test.
Part of the Be Great Foundation's mission is to help raise $5 million to see that diagnostics and research in immunology and transplantation are expanded in the Mid-Atlantic. To raise funds, the foundation hosts the Seek and Find Dr. Bear Family Walk, a 1-mile charity walk on Rockville's Carl Henn Millennium Trail. The goal is to find Dr. Bear, the mascot of the Children's National Medical Center, and other hidden surprises along the way. The Seek and Find event will take place the Saturday before Memorial Day weekend in Falls Grove Park.
And as they go on this trail, they're walking with their families, they're looking outside, you can engage with your family. At the same time, you're on the hunt for these things.
So why is the foundation called Be Great?
Every child deserves to be healthy and the chance to be great. There's Alexander the Great. We called him Alexander the Great when he was fighting through his journey, and it just seems fitting. And we know that his smoky blue eyes are looking down on us, and we're helping a lot of families, and it fulfills our entire family.
A journey that was unplanned and unexpected has now blossomed into something that is making a difference in the community.
These are words that, although Alexander never said them, this is what we heard from him along the way. Smile a lot, be happy, don't complain, take it as it comes. It's a beautiful day every day. Press forward and stay calm. Remain hopeful and trust that things will work out. Look into my eyes and see that I am not afraid. Take courage from me and be strong. Things may get darker before the light shines through. Enjoy each day without expectation. Smile a lot, be happy. Alexander only lived for 14 months. He's been gone for 18 months already. And the gift in that is that his legacy is living on, and so many people know of him, yet so little people ever got the opportunity to see his sparkly blue eyes and meet our family while we were on that journey. They're only seeing us afterwards. And that already means we're having some successes, and I look forward to some of these unknown. Unexpected journey can sound like it's a negative thing, and parts of our experiences have been, unfortunately. But the unexpected journey continues because I never thought that I would run a foundation, never thought that I would facilitate a walk for the community, or do all these things that are now happening because it's a part of this plan that I didn't have.
For more information on the Be Great Foundation or the Seek and Find event, go online to begreatfoundation.org.
While these unique stories illustrate how special Rockville is, we know there are many more residents we need to meet. Suggest a neighbor by sending an email to meetyourneighbor@rockvillemd.gov.
If you want to view any of the stories featured on this program, along with our other Meet Your Neighbor segments, be sure to check out the city's YouTube channel at youtube.com/cityofrockville.